Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here, and I have good news. Actually, it's great news. This old glitchy camera that we have here on this game trail, it's the oldest camera we have in our arsenal. We have replaced it. So hopefully this will be the last footage you see from this horribly low quality camera. Several people have asked me, why are they called trail cams? Why are they called game cams? Well, these are game trails. You know, that game travel through in the forest. And this trail here is heavily traveled by all kind of animals, game and otherwise. It's bizarre. When you walk through the forest and you find a trail, 9 times out of 10, unless it's in a heavily populated area, like a city park or something, the trail was not made by people, it was made by animals. And even most of the trails, that people use, they started as an animal trail, a game trail, and then people started using it, and then it kind of became a people trail. Now, from this glitchy, horrible camera in the past, we have seen a lot of deer and elk. Remember, we had all those videos with elk babies and deer babies? And yeah, we have a lot of deer and elk here, but we have other things on this trail too. We have bear. Yes, American black bear. This is a pretty good sized bear. Look how big he is. And yes, if you haven't noticed yet, this older trail camera is so glitchy. It takes photo 1, it waits a second, takes photo 2, and then the video starts. And then by the time the video starts, the animal is usually out of the picture, or mostly out of the picture. But, we're fixing that with a new camera. So we've seen deer here, and we've seen deer, and we've seen deer. And we've seen elk. For a long period of time, elk was the most common thing we saw here on this trail. And yes, coyotes, we will see coyotes pretty much everywhere, but they're all using the same trail. Deer, elk, bear, coyotes, and hey, check this out. This is kind of cool. This is a bobcat. In fact, this was the first time we have spotted a bobcat on our trail cams. Because remember, we were looking for bear, bobcat, and cougar. We've seen bear, a lot of bear, and then with this bobcat sighting, and then over the last 3 weeks, we have seen several other bobcats at other locations. So they must be very active right now, because it's not the same bobcat. Haven't seen any cougar yet. When we first saw this, I said, man, that looks kind of like, well, the tail looks like a deer, but the body looks like a cougar. And then the next picture, well, no, that's a cougar. And then we looked, no, that's a bobcat. Now, bobcat, they're not as common as cougar around here. And also, get this, they are very solitary and elusive. I have only seen a bobcat in the wild one other time, and that was coming out of Goldendale, Washington on my motorcycle, and I came around the corner in the forest, and bam, here was a bobcat at the edge of the road. That was the only time I'd ever seen one in the wild. Cougar, I see them, not all the time, but I've seen them quite frequently. The strangest cougar sighting I've ever seen was 1.5 miles from my house. Once again, I was on my motorcycle. It was noisy. It didn't even scare the cougar away. There was a squished package of McDonald's French fries in the middle of the road, and there was a cougar out there sniffing on them. I don't know if he was just licking the salt off them or eating the French fries or what, but he's right in the road. He saw me coming, he looked up, then he walked back into the bushes. That was weird. So yeah, seeing a bobcat here, it's a pretty good find. I just wish we had a better camera here, which we took care of that. But you don't want to have a low-quality camera that takes low pictures or you can't trust, because it could be the once-in-a-lifetime shot, and it's gone. Now check this out. Yes, it's a trail cam. There's wild animals going up and down this trail all the time. At the top of the trail, it opens, there's a clear cut. It's kind of a meadow up there. So the grass is growing up. It's been replanted, but the grass is there, so there's a lot of things for the deer and elk to eat. So with the deer and elk being up there, and then with fields you'll have mice and other small rodents, it attracts the predators. Bobcat, bear, coyotes. Check this out. 2 dogs, a German Shepherd and some other dog. And we have seen these guys in some of the other videos. They belong at one of the houses or farms around here. It's not super close, but there's some places within a couple miles of where we are. And some dogs, like cats, they just like to roam around. These aren't strays, they're well fed, and apparently they have a home. But what I think is probably funniest out of all of this, you have all these creatures using the same trail. Domestic dogs, wild bear, wild bobcat, deer, elk, coyotes. We had video of a raccoon using this trail. Hey, I'm just going to wander up this trail, go out to the field. Yes, very weird. So that's why it's called a trail cam. because you are looking at trails. You put the cameras up in the woods, you put them up randomly, you're going to maybe see some stuff. But you put them where you think there's a trail, a game trail, an animal trail that some creature is using. That's why it's a trail cam. Also called a game cam because it's game. You know, you're hunting the deer and the elk, or the beer and the bear and coyotes. You might be hunting a bear or hunting with a beer in your hand. Who knows? This is America. You can do that sort of thing. But if you take a camera and just stick it loose up in the woods, unless there's evidence of animals bedding down there or animals being there, you might randomly see some things walking through, which we have. But really, you need to put the camera where you think there's a trail. All right, so what do you think? Weird selection? If we can just get some more bear footage, some cool bear footage, and we need a cougar. All right, leave your comments in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.